You have the following two choices, Mr. Aguilera. You have the title with you?
Yes.
Either you sign the title over to Miss Coronado, or you pay her the $2,000 that she laid out for the truck. What's your pleasure?
I'll pay her the money.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
So what happens when love and money end up in court? Well, you're about to find out. Today we're going to break down a classic Judge Judy case, where a broken heart and a $2,000 dispute, it leads to one heck of a courtroom showdown.
And this line right here, it just perfectly sets the stage. I mean, think about it. This story starts with romance, but believe me, it ends in a messy, bitter battle for the truth. And you know who's at the center of it all? Judge Judy, ready to lay down the final verdict.
All right, so what's the big deal here? What actually brings these two people into court? Well, it all comes down to one simple but very complicated question. A $2,000 question, to be exact.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. On one side, you have the plaintiff. Her story, super simple. I lent him $2,000 for a truck and I want it back. But then you've got the defendant, and he's telling a completely different story. He's like, nope, that was a gift, no strings attached. And that disagreement right there is what this whole case is about.
All right, let's meet our players. First up, the plaintiff, Miss Coronado. She's the one who kicked this whole thing off, trying to get her $2,000 back.
So Judge Judy asks her, what do you do for a living? And her answer is simple. I'm a homemaker. She supports herself and her 2 kids with child support. Now, as soon as she says that, you can just see the gears start turning in Judge Judy's head. It immediately gets her attention.
And on the other side, we've got our defendant, Mr. Aguilera. He's the guy who got the $2,000, and now, he is firmly in the hot seat, trying to convince everyone it was just a gift.
So, let's get this straight. He's a technician, he's got a job. She's a homemaker living on child support. See that difference? That financial imbalance becomes a huge part of this case, and you better believe Judge Judy locked onto that right away.
Okay, and here's where the real fun begins. Judge Judy takes over, and her investigation just kicks into high gear. You know how she is. She has this incredible knack for just slicing through the nonsense to get to the truth. In this case, no exception.
So the first question is the most obvious one, right? And Judge Judy asks it point blank. Wait a second, if you're a homemaker living on child support, where in the world did you get $2,000 to lend someone?
And you know what? Miss Coronado has a perfectly good answer. Super clear, super logical. She says, look, I used to work at Walmart, I left, I filed my taxes, and I got a refund. Simple as that. That $2,000 was her money, hard-earned, not just some handout.
Okay, so the money part is settled. We know where it came from. And this is where Judge Judy pulls a classic Judge Judy move. She just pivots hard. Suddenly, we're not talking about money anymore. We're talking about where people live. It's her classic tactic to sniff out any inconsistencies.
So the judge starts off slow. She just confirms a simple fact. Your 2 children, they live with their mother, your ex, right? And he's like, yeah, that's right. He has no idea he is walking straight into a trap.
And then, boom, Judge Judy drops the bombshell. And you also live with their mother? The whole courtroom just bursts out laughing. In that one moment, Mr. Aguilera's credibility just completely falls apart. It's a total masterclass in how to expose a lie without even calling it a lie.
So now that she's exposed his kinda shaky living situation, Judge Judy circles right back to the money. She starts digging into the financial history between him and Miss Coronado, and oh boy, what she finds is very revealing.
Back at the place.
See,
So
before
he
he went back to his ex, Mr. Aguilera had been living with Miss Coronado for 9 months. And that whole time period is kind of a mystery, a black box. And Judge Judy is about to rip it wide open. She asks the one question that matters. So, who paid the bills?
And the numbers? Well, the numbers tell a story all on their own. The rent was $650 a month. He paid $600 of it, which means Miss Coronado, the woman he claims just gifted him $2,000, was only chipping in $50 for rent. Does that sound right to you? It puts a huge hole in his story.
So Judge Judy keeps pressing him, asking for details about buying the truck. And you can just see him start to crumble. He's getting nervous, and that's when she goes in for the kill. Speak up. Look at me when you're talking. The tension in that courtroom, you could cut it with a knife.
And this is the climax.
The moment of truth. Judge Judy has heard enough, she's seen enough, and now she's ready to put an end to it. She lays down an ultimatum for Mr. Aguilera, one with absolutely no wiggle room.
We'll look for another vehicle.
The choice
Well, that
she
sounds
gives
like a
him
normal
is
thing,
brutally
not I will
simple.
buy you a
Correct.
truck,
Option
don't worry
1,
about it, we'll look
you
for
sign the truck title back over to her. Option 2, you pay her the $2,000 she spent on it. That's it. No third option where you get to keep the truck and the money. It's crystal clear.
And after this, super tense moment of silence, he makes his choice. He says, I'll pay her the money. And with those 5 words, it's over. He just admitted everything. The gift was never a gift.
I mean, after that admission, what else is there to say? The trial is basically over. All that's left is for Judge Judy to make it official and bring down that gavel.
$2,000. The full amount. Exactly what Miss Coronado asked for. A totally clear, decisive win for her.
And that's that. Judgment for the plaintiff. Case closed. It's just swift, decisive, and final. It just goes to show you, in Judge Judy's courtroom, the truth is going to come out one way or another. So, when you boil it all down, what's the real takeaway? I mean, this case was never really about a truck or even about $2,000, was it? It was about trust and betrayal, and what happens when a promise gets broken. So, I'll leave you with this. In a battle between trust and money, what do you think is the true cost?